Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tanuki Smite League. It's your boy Cheeto. I do apologise for the brief intermission. We are still currently locked into a ranked game. We're going to run it as we go because that's how we do it around here, apparently. Yeah. Anyway, today's game we've got Skoll versus Midgards chosen in the lower division. Quite honestly, this is going to be, I would imagine, quite a barn burner. Two of what is considered to be the two top teams, currently both 3-0 in this game. It's going to be one hell of a set. What do you think about this one, Kino?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I think the set's going to be quite a close one. I think a lot of people think it's going to be one-sided, but from what I know with these teams on paper, it should be hopefully a good three games. I hope. It's going to be interesting to see because both teams have got their advantages and both teams have got their disadvantages.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the likes of the middle lane where Kai's hanging out, but I mean, like, Rendicor's been quite understated in a lot of these games as well. I feel like he's been probably one of the top performers in the solo lane. Now, let's see if he can do it against someone like Fozza, because Fozza is going to be a big impact on this game, that is for a certain. But then you look at the statement on the duo side for Midgards chosen, and you've got Gaelic. You've got JJ Master. It's going to be a good game, that is for a certain.
Yep, and the bans have come through thick and fast. I can see there's been Emoji ban, Princess Barry ban, Sobek and Kabrakan ban. So it's common standard bans we're starting to see. Obviously, they're all kind of a nuisance. And I kind of like the first pick Artemis here because it just shows the signal intent of playing aggressive.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, Artemis prioritised, actually. Cupid's available to pick as well. Maybe we'll see if they're actually going to focus some sort of comp around this Artemis, because I think that's going to be probably a big part of what happens here. And while we're speaking of the Cupid Kino, it is going to get locked in on the other side. So we're going to see a Cupid and an Achilles. Now the Achilles potentially going into the jungle. I mean, that's where I would imagine that it's going to go to, but who actually knows in this game? Who actually knows?
It's a good flex picking. You can stick it solo and you can stick it jungle, to be fair. And on the odd occasion, you can obviously put it in support. I don't know if Gaelic has a Achilles in him, but it wouldn't surprise me if he actually does play Achilles support. Obviously a Cupid, good standard pick. It's two of probably the top tier ADC picks at this moment in time. Artemis, Cupid in that lane. Cancel each other out in what they can do. I genuinely like the Ymir pickup as well at the moment, because you've got an Artemis Ymir lane. You don't win that duo lane. That's a duo lane to me which you want to fight. You want to fight early, probably pre-level 5, and you want to get a jungle over on your side of the map to force a 3v3 fight or even a 3v2 fight.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll tell you what's not fighting, and that's Kino in my ranked games, costing me, but Agni locked in the middle lane. Quite an interesting pick, and he's going to be against a Poseidon. And I mean, a Poseidon's quite an interesting pick because personally, I don't think the god is that great in the current state of the game. I mean, you've got the likes of, we've seen a lot of Zeus picks up recently. That god is ridiculous. But I mean, Agni, it links into this team, especially with the Ymir as well, because the Ymir is noticeably getting picked quite a lot now and at very high tiers as well. It's got the CC, it's got the blocking ability. I mean, this Ymir is going to be a big part of his team, by the way, because their comp is not very great into it at all.
Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. I think Ymir doesn't do well into what they kind of drafted as well with the track. Kepri does get locked down very easily, similar to Cheeto dying 10 times in the latest rank game, but he just needs to kind of be aware of where to position, how to position, and when to use his actives, really, because the Ymir can really turn the fights around and either win them or lose them, and that's what I feel like this game may come down to. It's not so much on what they've drafted. It's going to be, can they play this this Ymir in this type of game where they know they're going to be the target priority.
Yeah, that is for certain. I hope that Gaelic has these Keprials a little bit more unlocked than Kino did on the Sobek plugs, because that was not great at all. I mean, Gaelic, a top tier support. You've got JJ, who, at the minute, arguably top ADC. Kino, would you argue with that? Definitely up there, that is for a certain. I think it's going to be a battle of who plays better as a team all round, because both of these teams are really, really good. I mean, we see Tunskapat in the jungle on this Amaterasu. If he can get the impact out on this god, it's going to be really good.
So we can see I can see the aspects being chosen. So I can see that the Achilles has gone for the aspect, Chuck's gone for the aspect, Kepri has gone for the aspect, Tam's gone for the aspect, and Mordred has also gone for the aspect. So I kind of like, obviously, the Amma, the Mordred, and I'd like to say as well the Achilles and the Kepri aspects. I'm not too big on the Chuck aspect in this type of game, especially if he wants to be upfront in person in the face. You do want, even if it's not a lot of healing ticking over, it's still better than nothing rather than the damage being put out.
Yeah, I mean, all we can really do is wait and see. I mean, we do see the Ymir having this Sunder online. Maybe we're going to see an invade off of him, maybe we're not. I would like to see some early action in this game, and I think if one team gets off to a front running, I think we might see games get taken away relatively quickly.
That's correct, and I think we're going to see it in the duo lane. I don't want Skoll to sit back and wait for Midgards' duo lane to really take effect. You want to fight them early, you want to fight them often. And what you want as well is you want the Amma to come across and give them that pen shred as well. I fully expect to see the Sunder most likely used in lane for the additional damage. I don't think he'll use it for the red buff.
I mean,
as he wants to put
something, if they can get something going on this Cupid early, especially if the Ymir and this Artemis hit 2 first, I feel like they can definitely use that to their advantage, because if they step up and manage to get something out of that, the Sunder could come into a big play in that and could maybe actually get them a first blood in this lane.
Yes. Yeah. So we're just at the moment as well. We're just feeling each other out the first couple of minutes. We'll see what kind of rotations people want to do around. We've got us first blood.
There is the first kill, and it is going to be Fozzer. Solo kill onto Rendikor. Seems it's level 2 first. And I mean, this Mordred with the aspect, Kino, it's not something to mess around with at all.
No, and with the aspect, you get the feeling you do want to be in fighting, and you want to force the fights early on. You get the lane pressure, you're also trying to hit the enemy god at the same time. And looking at the paper, you would say out of Midgard chosen and Skoll, Rendikor is probably the weakest one, but we see this rotation from counter pressure from the duo lane.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure is going to be put on in this duo lane. I mean, we said that arguably Gaelic and JJ probably up there in terms of how good they are as a duo pair. Arguably one of the biggest talking points of this team as well. And Fozzer very almost getting another solo kill within 2 minutes in the solo lane, and that would have spelled absolute disaster for Midgards chosen, because if this Mordred can get off the line and get in here very quickly, it's not going to be good at all. Not going to be good whatsoever.
No, what that kind of allows is Amaterasu Tunskapat to most likely focus most of his attention into the duo lane, because once you've got a lane lead in one side, i.e. the solo lane, where Fozzox is just kind of running at Rendikor, Dennis Rodman does need to try and release some of that pressure, which allows that kind of counter oppression to happen in duo lane. So if he pushes that lead, it'd be really great. Kind of see Amma force that rotation, force the fight, which Ymir and Artemis really want to do.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Tunskapat maybe just farm quite a bit in this early game, to be honest, and try and make sure that he's going to be getting the ability to get those items and whatnot. I mean, we are obviously seeing an ever so slight lead currently on this Achilles. I mean, really in the duo lane, other than helpless farm and poke, not a great deal happening. But we are seeing Tunskapat come around here now. It's level 5, does have the ultimate available. The silence is on point, but the heart bomb also pops onto him, so nothing is going to come of that. And Kepri and Cupid are just going to walk away.
Yeah, and this is where I would have expected probably a more Swift to kind of step up and be with Tunskapat. He has got the Sunder active, he has got the Sunder available. He can invade it, but Tunskapat does it on his own anyway.
Yeah, he's going to get that purple buff invade off. And, I mean, that purple buff invade, it doesn't look like a lot, but it's definitely a lot for this duo lane on the side of Midgards Chosen, because the purple buff means everything from the farm just to the mental capacity of the team.
Used Sunder there. I respect that. I also like this rotation from Dennis Rodman. Kind
I
of
don't
for
like beads though from the Artemis.
it's a panic beat.
That's a wonderful ult there though from Tunskapat.
And it should be a good fight.
Yeah, the
Very good
ult
fight.
also popped in by the Artemis as well, and that's going to be 2 kills popped up by the side of my team now. By the way, Kino, up the boys. Let's go. I mean, I feel like off of that, maybe we run to Gold Fury. 5 minutes, it's literally about to pop. You've got the Artemis there, you've got the auto attack Amaterasu. We all know that the base health of the Gold Fury has now been lowered, so I feel like they could have got maybe a little bit more out of that. But I mean, 2 kills early doors like that is not something to shy away from. It puts them in a firm lead.
But the Gold Fury damage has been reverted, so it's not straightforward as it was before. Yes, it was coming up, but at the same time, they were all coming back up, so it would have been a risky kind of Gold Fury call. Again, it's using what the comp is kind of designed for in the early game, is that Ymir Artemis do want to force fights, do want to take as much control in that lane as soon as possible. Yes, it was I would say a panic bead, but it kind of worked out for him, like, really nicely. Good old bot Tunskapat, well done by Swift, and it was just well coordinated and well communicated.
Yeah, quite honestly, I think the big part in that fight was the Achilles just overextending ever so slightly, and an impeccable wall by Immortal Swift on the Ymir, blocking him inside, while Samuel took that purple buff. It was the purple buff XP that actually got them to level 5 and able to say, Tunskapat's here, pops ult, triple ult, manages to get the stun onto 3 people, and then after that, it's a matter of ult from Samuel because he's in there, and I mean, he got the Cupid beads, they managed to get two free kills off of it, so it's a very big fight for them, especially that early.
It is a big fight, and I like what Gaelic's trying to do. He's trying to release some of that pressure in solo, in duo lane, but I don't like that. I think he got a bit ahead of himself.
Yeah, overextending just ever so slightly. Also expends his beads for that as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, Poseidon beads. I feel like this Poseidon could be getting a lot more attention, but we're going to find it now. It's going to be a bit rough, but Rendikor is going to be rotating over into the duo lane. Ultimate is popped by the Artemis, and the freeze is just on point there as well to be able to get Samuel out of there. We are seeing a slight lead over towards Samuel's side, but Gold Fury is now picked up by Midgards Chosen, but I don't think they want to give it up for free. We do have 4 men on the side of Midgards Chosen over here, and I mean, these are going to be popped by the Artemis as well, and I mean, now it's just a little bit rough for the boys because 5 members of Midgards Chosen running in. Fozzer does manage to pick up a kill onto Gaelic. Gaelic not managing to pop his ult either, and Fozzer is a big old boy, picks up a double kill and a kill for Kai onto Thomas Flop as well. So although the ults are popped and I mean the fight goes ahead, Gold Fury goes to Midgards Chosen, but a 3-for-1 trade as well for the side of Skoll.
And I think that favours Skoll more than anything else. It was kind of nicely played by Samuel and Swift, both playing their life to force that kind of objective. Force as well Midgards to stay on that,
Jesus.
and Fozlex just stays doing whatever he wants. But again, I fight with Kieran, not Kai. I do apologise if it came out as Kieran. But overall, I think it favours Skoll in that kind of fight.
Yeah, I mean, at a minute, this is... I'm going to call it the Fozza show, mate, because he's going absolutely crazy right now on the Mordred. And I mean, like we said, this god is nothing to joke around with, especially if he gets a lead, which he has now. I mean, now 4 levels, probably 3.5 levels onto Rendikor. And Rendikor gets in there a little bit early, pulls off the gank into the duo lane. He does get the ult off of Samuel, but I mean, he really wants to fight as well. But it's a good teleport there by Rendikor. Never mind, honestly, because I mean, Rendikor had that scouted, and he's going to pop over to level 8 now. So yeah, we're probably all looking on the region of about 3.5 level lead for Fozza, which I mean, you know, it could have a massive impact on this game. Fozza having this much pressure.
It will have severe, because at the moment the gold lead's only 500 gold. So having where it is most likely in solo, as you can see on the net worth, Rendikor being bottom and Fozlex being top, you can see where the gold lead actually does shine through. So it's going to be interesting when we transition to this mid to late game how Midgard shows and try and slow down this Mordred on Fozlex. Again, good juke shoes by the pair of them, by Dennis Rodman and Fozlex. Good return kill, 1-for-1, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, Tunskapat just in the right place at the right time there, and obviously Kai on hand as well. It is unfortunate for Fozza though there, getting shut down. I think it was Dennis Rodman getting the kill there on the Achilles with the execute, but I mean, a 4-0 shutdown for him. It does pull him just up in terms of net worth onto Tunskapat, but I mean, honestly, still a 2-level lead that we're seeing in the jungle here for Tuns onto Dennis Rodman. And then you've still got the 3 levels in the solo lane as well. Arguably, there's not really much between the 2 mid laners. A little bit of gold, maybe half a level at most. And I mean, in terms of what we spoke about being a big talking point of this this Midgards chosen team being the duo lane, honestly, we're not really seeing too much. I mean, Ultimate is popped here by Samuel as well, and he does manage to juke off something else. Cupid Fields of Love is going to be popped, and I mean, here comes Dennis Rodman, misses the 1 by a country mile. Didn't really need to be there, didn't do a great deal, but did get an assist for that.
And it's a good good play from Skoll, getting the Pyromancer, forcing the kind of play on the solo side of the map. Flopper should die here, so it's a 1-for-1 trade with Pyromancer and a tier 1 tower in mid, and I generally think that favours against Skoll.
Yeah, I believe so, to be honest. I mean, they get the objective off of it, which extends your gold lead, gives you the ability to have those runic bombs, manages to maybe get you the chance of getting a structure off the map. They're then going to pick up this Naga as well on the meanwhile, just so that they get the minions. Maybe we could see another objective pull here from Skoll pretty soon.
It all depends if Sam keeps himself alive, which ain't going to happen. And you can see that the way that Midgards are wanting to play this game, the way they're going to try and get this win, is try and get JJ Master in front of Sam and make sure that Fozlex can't manipulate the backline as much as possible, where where JJ Master just kills him on cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a good play there from Gaelic and JJ. You take a look at things, and in the previous gank, both the ult and the beads were used by Samuel. Artemis, not the most mobile god in the world. We do have the Kepri, who has the aspect, so we cannot pluck them towards you, but all they need to do is hold them in place, and a Cupid will do the rest of the work, let's be honest.
Yeah. And this might be... No. He misses the first one. He misses the first one, so...
expended there by by Tunskapat, and I mean, again, we're still seeing a 2-level lead over there. Everything else looking kind of the same as what it was, but I mean, really, right now, the solo and jungle for Skoll is the main talking point. And now we're going to see a Gold Fury popped, and could we see the use of that runic bomb that I was talking about earlier on? We're not going to see that, and objective is secured by the mid laner of Skoll.
A little bit risky by Skoll there. I mean, using the Agni bombs to secure. I mean, Sunder was active. A nice little wall from Swift, just kind of zoning out Kepri from getting through. But this might be a bit of danger for the dual lane of Skoll at this moment in time.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing what the game plan of Midgards chosen is. Ultimate is going to be popped there from Rendikor, the Chackle. We're also seeing a Cupid ult popped, and I mean, Samuel did all he could, fighting his heart out. Use the ult of the Artemis to try and be able to. I mean, he gets the CC immunity off it, which is good use of the ult. But I mean, there's just too many members of the other team there, and oh my lord, we'll look for that corner. Thomas Flop is not having a fun time there because Tunskapat and Kai are sat there on the other side of that wall waiting for him, and he will be all brown bread.
Same with Swift as well in the kind of return aspect, just trying to defend that T1 tower, which shouldn't be defended. I think there was a Poseidon there briefly before Agni and Amaterasu decided to peer their heads around the corner. I think Floppers might be a little bit triggered from that. I'm not 100% sure. It's now about seeing if, because it's only a 2k gold lead or 1.5 at this moment in time. The objectives have split out evenly across the map. It seems to be that 1-tier tower in mid and the Pyromancer going the way of the Skoll, which has given them the advantage. There is that 3-level advantage now. I do see an ADC, which might start becoming a factor the later this game goes, when items start getting online and we start hitting level 20s.
Yeah, I mean, these items are going to start coming online very soon as well, but I mean, Tunskapat really wants to pants down of Dennis Rodman because he's looking for him and he's trying to solo him on cooldown. We are going to see the 3-level lead in the jungle, though. On the other hand, Cupid ult is going to be popped. Fields of Love is on point, and JJ Master gets to kill onto Tunskapat there. So return kill, I mean, the jungler kills the jungler. We see Gaelic there on the support. We do hear a Mordred ult getting popped, and it isn't going to be enough. That's actually very unfortunate for him there. I thought he was going to be on point, but I mean, you was talking about items. Chackle is going to be popped for onto Fozza, but Fozza's a little bit too tanky for this and just walks away whilst laughing at the guy. And I mean, you was talking about items on this Cupid, and I mean, obviously he's got the Devos, so he's going to have the sustain. He's got the Demon Blade, and I mean, now we're going to be seeing the Executioner Kin's Blade bought, and that's when we're going to see damage done towards the Mordred. But the Pyromancer is picked up by Midgards Chosen, and a pluck over there as well, straight back into that whirlpool, and Fozza is going to fall to Dennis Rodman via the execute of Achilles. And it's great team play from Midgards Chosen, who are going to pick that Pyromancer back up, but Tunskapat manages to get the steal on there. A 3-man stun off of the Amaterasu ult. Kepriel is going to have to be popped, and these guys say, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, good steal. Again, it's a good fight. Recognising what was used in that last fight by Skoll before the kind of re-pick up by Midgards Chosen on the Pyromancer made it a very good fight for him to take. Good wall by Swift, pretty much disrupting what Midgards were doing and trying burning that Pyromancer and getting out. Nice ult by Tunskapat getting a 3-man stun and basically stealing it right underneath the noses. Could have been a potential chase down, but I didn't think they want to risk it just in case they do overextend a little bit too much and could lead to a quick reset by Midgards Chosen and picking up the fire.
Yeah, I mean, we see what, on the region about 2,500 gold lead in favour of Skoll. I think you are right, though, in saying, I mean, Tunskapat gets a big ult there. After stealing the Pyromancer, Skoll are going to pick up this Gold Fury as well. Maybe Midgards Chosen aren't aware, but if they weren't aware, they are going to be now. Naga's picked up by the side of Midgards Chosen. Rendikor steals the Gold Fury for
Can we
Midgards chosen, and damn, that felt good for him.
can we refer to him as his right name, Rendy Goat, not Rendy Core, Rendy Goat, because that is Rendy Goat with a very, very nice steal. The can was aware that the Gold Fury was being picked up. It was well timed. The wall was slightly off, but you can't take anything away from Rendy Goat. Timing his ult well, getting out as well, picking up the Gold Fury and saying thank you ever so much. And that 2.5k gold lead is now practically wiped off the map. It's now a 400 gold lead.
Yeah.
We're back to an even state. We are this game. I can see potentially going on for at least another 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, the current state, this game is going to become what we would call a barn burner. And I mean, we are still seeing slight leads in certain places. Two levels in the solo lane, 2 levels in the jungle. That's been quite similar this whole game. But we are seeing a fire giant pull now from the side of Skoll, and they really want this. Fozza being the main tank for this is going to get knocked up by the fire giant. That is not something that you enjoy seeing. There is a runic bomb available for Skoll, and Gaelic steals the fire giant onto Khepri with the 2. The aspect of Khepri coming through with that extra damage. We are going to see a rundown now though for the side of Skoll. Ult's going to be popped by Gaelic onto Khepri as well, managing to get him out of there, but he is going to fall in the end, and the rundown comes. Tunskabat does fall after managing to pick up the kill onto Gaelic, and we might see a little bit of a scuffle here, each team trying to get a little bit of something off of one another. Fozza running it down on the right lane against 2 people. The target prioritisation not exactly there, but I think that Skoll are not going to be happy with that at all.
I think the fire giant pick was a bit of a I think a rage play, because they had the Gold Fury just stolen a minute prior towards that happening. So it was kind of like, we want to. They're trying to force objectives. They're trying to force the fights now, and I mean, I get the idea of picking up the fire giant. I would have liked them to see most likely bait it, where either Swift is just generally on it and the DPS are hidden in a place, but maybe more of a trying to sniff the plate under the noses. But Midgards picked it out well. They got the fire giant steal from Gaelic. I'd argue to say one of the best supports in this division by far, and they do manage to at least keep it on 4 people. Gaelic sacrifices his life to make sure everyone else lives as well, which as a true support player, he'd be over the moon with.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of criminal though, Kino, because you look for objective secure, and I mean, yeah, you have the Agni bombs, but you've got a Sunder for Fozza, a Sunder for the Ymir on Immortal Swift, and a Runic bomb available. I do not know how they managed to, I don't want to say bottle, but drop that. I mean, we might see a kill here onto Immortal Swift as well. Stampede is going to be popped, and we did just see an Achilles ult go straight through my window, because, I mean, that happened, but Stampede's going to be popped, and Kai's going to be there to peel him out. Rendicor is hanging around though, but Immortal Swift is going to manage to get out of there.
Yeah, I think a lot of windows have just been put out with that Achilles ult, to be fair. Maybe even a few graves as well. Probably wasn't the cleanest ult you'll see now or in the future. The idea was to obviously pick up Swift. Swift is level 13. He's I would say at this point a little bit underleveled, undergeared. Again, a fight around objective, which is going to be 50-50.
I mean, that 50-50 is going to go on the side of Midgard's chosen. Beads are going to be popped there by Rendicor, but it is a little bit of an old scrap here now, and Fozza may fall. Chalices are popped. Kepriel does come through, and in the end, JJ manages to pick up a kill onto Immortal Swift, but I mean, these fights are just a little bit scuffed, and I mean, you're seeing a lot of these objectives, 50-50s, going on the side of Midgards. Maybe they've just got the upper hand in terms of objective securing on their side.
I mean, the comp-wise, no. You'd say that Skoll have got a better objective kind of secure. They've got more ways of securing objectives, but it's just generally scruffy around all the objectives. It's all 50-50s. I'd say there's only been about 2 or 3 fights where they've actually been coordinated on what the picks and what the targets are.
Yeah, I mean, these Scarab's blessings as well, though, from Gaelic have been absolutely on point. Fields of Love is going to be popped, and Fozza might find himself in a little bit of bother now, and Thomas Flop does manage to pick up that kill. Artemis manages to pop the ult and try to peel him out, but it isn't going to happen, and the rundown is going to come from the side of Skoll now. Chak popping the ult, Stampede's also going to be popped. Skoll wants something out of this fight, but it's not going to happen for them. We see Midgards chosen get the pick onto Fozza. Yeah, we see the Pyromancer picked up by Skoll, but I mean, does that benefit them in any way at this point? I mean, we see now the structures. We've got that special Goal Fury popped onto the tower and whatever of Skoll, and I mean, they don't have any bombs available on the side of Midgard's chosen, but I mean, in terms of structures and map play, it's definitely looking in favour of Midgard's currently, and I mean, that gold lead, it's gone straight back to the other side, Kino.
Yeah, it has, but it's not a substantial gold lead. It's only 3k, so it's these tier 2 acts here and there, and a few wards here and there as well. We're going to see this Fire Giant dance now for I would say for the next 5 minutes, where both teams are just going to try and feel each other out, try and play who's going to get the pick target, who's going to cause the engaged where they can pull a Fire Giant from. If I was Skoll's position, I'd kind of want for Midgards to come onto us and fight us in a jungle where we can section them out with the Ymir wall, with the kind of lockdown we've got with the Artemis and the Agni and the Mordred, and force a fight on our side of the jungle in a place where the Midgard chosen are not going to like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a feels bad moment for Skoll currently because, I mean, on the left-hand side of the screens, we've got the player damage stats up there, and I mean, you see the damage coming through from the Cupid, and you see the damage coming through from the Poseidon as well. Rendikor starting to get up there, but when you look at the jungle damage from Dennis Rodman, I mean, there's a slight difference in damage between him and this Tunskapat. Fire Giant is going to be picked up. Ult from Fozza there isn't going to manage to pick everyone up, and we see a support pick here as Fields of Love is going to be popped, but it's not going to be enough. The bomb this time used. And, I mean, we're going to see the Fire Giant stolen this time around, but not for Midgard's chosen, it's going to be for Skoll. Tunskapat wants to get in there, Amaterasu is going to be popped, but it's going to be the end of his life when JJ Master gets a hold of him. This Cupid is starting to do a lot of damage now. The Kins, the Exi, the Titan's Bane, 25% pen off that item, by the way, but I mean, look at the other side of the map. Samuel is there, he's going to pop the ult as well. Artemis is going to be out of there. 2 members of the team over there now, but JJ Master in the middle lane currently. I mean, he doesn't want to run away anytime soon because they want something in there. But he isn't going to get much because Fozza's there. JJ picking up the kill onto him as well. This Cupid is now starting to have a big impact on this game. But, I mean, the Fire Giant's picked up by Skoll. And, I mean, as well as that stolen, you also have a Phoenix taken on the best side of the map, Kino.
Yeah, well, Fire Giant was picked up by Midgard. I think both teams need to learn how to secure objectives by the looks of things, because both teams, I mean, you'd be losing money if you're saying who's going to secure which objective. I think we've had 4 objectives stolen this game so far, so it's one thing both teams would most likely want to improve on, but it's very nicely done by Skoll. He's getting that steal. It also helps Samuel kind of take that Phoenix down in the duo lane, which you quite rightly say is the best Phoenix to get in the game. I like now that the builds are starting to come online. You are right. Cupid's build is really good. You've got the Demo Blade, you've got the Kins, you've got the X, you've got Titan's Bane. My guess is that might be a Deathbringer last item, and whoever stands in front of his face is just going to die.
Yeah, my guess would be a Deathbringer last, but I mean, this Titan's Bane is a big part of this build, Kino, and I mean, you get the shattering effect from this Titan's Bane, and that gives you a 25% permanent pen buff, which is quite honestly Very, very good. I mean, the item's 3,100 gold, but God, is it worth 3,100 gold? And at this stage in the game, it's the big part. It's the big talking part of what's happening in this game. And I mean, it's the fact that Fozzer had an absolutely ginormous lead. I mean, it was unspoken for, but I mean, now Rendicor's caught up. We're in the late game now, 30 minutes in, and this Cupid is going to do a hell of a lot of damage. An item that is quite interesting is the katanas there from the Artemis, which I don't actually see built often. I mean, yeah, you get the crit off of it, but I mean, it gives you the movement speed, which, I mean, with the buff off the 2, I guess it's quite good. Gives you a little bit more maneuverability, especially on an Artemis, which is quite a stable god where you can't get in and out of places. I feel like maybe a bit more pen for him, though. I mean, they're really... we've got a support on the side of Midgards Chosen here on Gaelic as this Kepri, and God, is he going for it? I mean, Kino, when was the last time you saw Gauntlet of Thebes built?
I mean, Gauntlet of Thebes, I think, received a buff in this upcoming patch, so I can see why it's been picked up. It's generally a good... If it is correct that it has been buffed, it will become a good item. It kind of like gives them health. Also, I think if we hover over it, it does give that protections back out as well.
It does.
To
It gives it to the teammates as well.
yeah, so it's generally you will see supports kind of picking this item up now, along with the Stampede. It doesn't give aura anymore. No,
It doesn't give an aura anymore.
it's just generally good health, a little bit of protections, and generally a nice tanky kind of item, a big beefy item, and it's quite cheap as well.
I mean, you say a little bit of protections, but I mean, one stacked 40 of each protections. I mean, it's quite a lot, plus the health as well that it gives you. I mean, it's
plus
really
the additional
good.
15 when it's stacked.
Exactly that. So I mean, you're talking 55 prots per stat. I mean, right now, this guy's going to be a tanky old boy, but we are going to be looking at the left-hand lane now, and Tunskapat is going to look at this Phoenix, and he is going to get it. Fire Giant is going to not be up either for about another 20 seconds, 30 seconds or so. Fields of Love popped, and may he get out of there. Fozzer is out of there. We did see beads pop there by Samuel as well. We are going to see a lot expended from the side of Midgards Chosen, and I mean, it's not for a great deal really either, because all of Skoll managed to just get out of there. We are going to see the Fire Giant picked up now though, and Kai is hanging around. Tunskapat now linking up with his team as well, but this thing is burning down quickly, and ult's going to be popped here by Tunskapat. Going on to the ADC, beads are going to be popped by the Cupid, and Rendikor picks up the Fire Giant, and Thomas Flop also picks up the kill onto Tunskapat there as well. A lot of damage from Immortal Swift off that Ymir ult, but Thomas Flop picks up a double kill. Manages to pick off Immortal Swift as well, and Fire Giant is secured by Rendikor for Midgards Chosen, and now we might see a bit of a rundown. The Demon, the Fire Giant Blade is going to be picked up there by Rendikor as well. I mean, can we see a repeat of a couple of weeks ago where Rendikor was on this track and was running it down? And I mean, 5 people now from Midgards Chosen are going to be sieging down the Phoenix of Skoll. It's going to go down relatively quick as well, as Samuel's going to find himself in a lot of bother. Rendikor picking up arguably a solo kill there onto Samuel, and again, not the damage you expect to see because no kin size built from Samuel. And is this going to be the end of the game, because that Titan's coming down very quick? Fuzzer cannot do a great deal about it and isn't going to fall in the meanwhile, but Titan is going to fall and game 1 goes to Midgards Chosen.
Yeah, we learned how to secure objectives, and that effectively won us the game. Rendikor securing that objective seals pretty much the win for Midgards Chosen. I'm kind of surprised it ended how quickly it did. I thought we were going to be in there for at least another 10-15 minutes or so. if I'm Skoll, I'm kind of saying just make sure we
Seems Keelan is having a little bit of a problem, but I mean, it's not something. I mean, this was a close game. Arguably, the big talking point between what happened in this game is these guys are struggling to secure objectives.
get all
games. Oh, Kino is back. Kino, you had a little bit of a mic issue there. I do apologise, but I mean, Kino, what we need to talk about here is that arguably both of these teams struggle with securing objectives. I mean, there was a couple in the early game where we found Skoll were picking them up a little bit, but I mean, you actually look at these late game, and I mean, the end one was quite well taken from Midgards chosen, but we saw 2 Fire Giants stolen, one of them for each team. We saw Goal Furies stolen, both from each team, and I mean, the fights were just a little bit scrappy as well.
Yeah, the fights around the objectives were very scrappy, which led to the steals. I think it was five in total, which we kind of love to see. The objectives stolen. Swift, Rendigo, Gaelic, Tunskapat, all with the big plays as and when they needed. I think, like I say, if we have the Kins most likely on the Artemis, then we're pretty much solid. I think the tanks just on Midgards chosen died rather quickly. I would like to see the adjustments happen for game 2 for Skoll. I don't think necessarily need to change too much of the plan. We know what we was going to expect. One was going to fight in solo, one was going to fight in duo, and this game it was the duo side which won for Midgards chosen.
Exactly that. And on that note, we are going to take a brief intermission just till we get into this second game, because God, Kino, I need a bottle of water after all that talking. We're going to throw in, and I mean, let's go to a quick break, and we'll see you, I mean, pretty shortly for game 2.
Do it fast, do it nice now, do it my way. Polaroid photographs on a Friday. Mona Lisa Lamborghini, it's a feeling. Yeah, life is a beast if it's easy. Do you wanna make room for your mistakes, or catch a flight to Aruba, Jamaica, while listening to Chopin for the romance? She's thinking of the way she could crash land, but I like that, and I knew just that I would. Yeah, I like that. Keep on doing what you're good at. I like that. Mona Lisa Lamborghini, living life fast. You don't really make this easy. Cleopatra Bugatti in the sunset. away with the sound of a Mortal Kombat. And it's an empty lifestyle, and she knows that. Living life like a star child, but a low end. Well, she's a Kubrick star without a motive. You gotta play that part, 'cause she chose it. Picking up on the good signs and the fine wines. The more I think about it, these are fast times. And I like that. It's a question
Hello everybody, welcome back to Tanuki Smite League. We've got game 2 of Skoll versus Midgards Chosen in the lower division, up and coming for you. Obviously Midgards Chosen taking game 1 in quite a scuffle of a game between both teams. In the end, Midgards Chosen managing to get the upper hand on that one, but I mean there was some quite questionable objective calls, and we are going to see us going straight in here with the picks and bans. These guys are not messing around on what they want and what want to ban and who they want to pick. I mean, Kino, we're seeing it straight off the rip here. I mean, Cupid banned. Yeah,
They obviously thought.
Big part of game 1.
Yeah, and they kind of thought the JJ Master was kind of being too much. It makes sense for the ban, but that allows Gaelic to pick probably his most favourite support in the game right now. Obviously, he cannot use the aspect, but still very, very good in the support role.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing the Umoja aspect picked up mainly now for, mid lane. I mean, people are playing it in support, but I mean, the 2 does a lot of damage off of that aspect now. But obviously, first couple of weeks of the aspect being released, unable and ineligible to use within Tanuki Smite League. But I mean, we're seeing the prio for the Artemis. For what? I mean, it'll be for Samuel. I mean, we know his. I mean, it's probably his best god, really. So I mean, I don't hate it for them.
It's his most comfortable god, and I think they're just waiting on the full lobby as Kieran likes to pick his final pick, like with everyone else, so he knows what he's up against and what he's feeling more comfortable with, because he's probably got the most expansive god pool out of Skoll completely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that, to be honest, and I mean, there's definitely better other picks that you can pick around middle lane. Plenty available. I mean, I'd like to see Kai get onto something where he can get a bit more stuck in, try and get a bit more damage in there. And I mean, as you said, we are going to see Gaelic on arguably what he would call his best pick on the Umoja. We're going to see Rendicor run back the Chak. I mean, it wasn't great for him in the early game, but you get to that late game and he's got that much mitigations that it doesn't matter. He can stand in front of an Artemis and take all the damage he wants, especially when the Artemis doesn't buy kin size. But I mean, we're going to see a few more gods locked in now. I mean, the Geb picked up as well here for, I would imagine, for Immortal Swift in the support role, going for a little bit more of a peel backline based god here, Kino.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. There might be a bit concerned that Sam and Kai was a bit too open for the dive, or when the dive did happen from Rendicor and Rowley or Dennis Rodman on this occasion. I'm surprised that Awilix has got through all the way this late. Bearing in mind, all the way, she's probably one of the best junglers in the game right now. She's already got a bit of setup from the Geb. She has now even more setup with the Vulcan, and a lot of lockdown as well, where she can play off and use a 3 for kind of the knock up as well. So it's a very good Awilix pick this late on. Again, and it does well into the Umoja, kind of does well into the Jingwei as well, where they get knocked up and they're kind of worried where they have to be now.
Yeah, I mean, you say Awilix up there. I mean, personally, I'd say Awilix probably the best jungler in the game at the moment, and getting 4th picked is quite criminal. So we are going to see this time around Fozzer taking the Amaterasu over into the solo lane. We're going to see Tunskapat on this Awilix, and I'll be honest with you, Kino, this is what I wanted from Kai. Not only is he on a god that he's 1, very comfortable on, 2, the god does a hell of a lot. I've been messing around a lot recently with Vulcan in game. This god is crazy, mate. Absolutely crazy. But not only that, you also pair it into a team where it is arguably Awilix's best friend. If Kai can put these meatballs on point, God Almighty, are we going to see a clinic from Tunskapat in this game? But not only that, you've got an Awilix with those Vulcan knockups. Pair with that, you've got a Geb as well. I think it's a well fought around comp from Skoll here, quite honestly. I mean, on the other side, you've got a couple of gods that in the first game, got picked. I mean, I say that, you've got the Chak that got picked. Thomas flopped this time, going over towards that Agni that Kai was on in the first game, giving them a little bit more CC than the Poseidon maybe did. I mean, obviously you get the cripple, and I mean, that links into a good old Kraken, but this time around we're going to see him on the Agni. We've got JJ Master on the Jingwei. Now, this is going to be an interesting one because Jingwei arguably wants to farm all game. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, late game, we all know Jingwei gets in there, does a hell of a lot of damage, and does whatever the hell she wants with maximum safety. Dennis Rodman, though, is on the Thanatos this time around, obviously with the aspect on. Now, do you think this Thanatos is a good pick, Kino?
It's not a bad pick. Generally, I don't think he did too much, obviously, apart from breaking a few windows with the Achilles ult last game. Generally didn't do too much wrong, you know. Used his obviously most of his damage was on the low side, but when he needed to be active and get involved, he very much was involved in the team fights and in that kind of brawl when it needed to be the brawls and scuffles where they came out on top. Thanatos is a bit more like wants to fight early, wants to be aggressive, wants to try and get in front so he can use the ult quite effectively, whether that's for setup or whether that's for kill securing in the execute range.
Yeah, I mean, quite arguably, I would say if Dennis Rodman has a similar early game to what he had in the first game, he's going to find this game particularly rough, especially on this Thanatos, because if he ends up 4 levels down on this Thanatos, is going to be pretty damn useless. But I mean, we can only do what we can do, and that is wait and see what happens. And arguably, we've got 2 of the best early game gods, especially as far as jungler goes, in the game. You've got the Thanatos, obviously wants to get stuck in. And I mean, speaking of getting stuck in, beads are going to have to be popped there by Kai. And Dennis Rodman does want this, but Tunskvat is going to hang about. And here comes the meatball, and the damage from the one isn't quite on point there from Kai. So a little bit of return damage, but Samuel may fall here, and JJ Master picking up the first blood on the Jingwei, which I just spoke about wanting to farm, Kino.
Yeah, but he's Jingwei wants to farm, and Athena, or not Athena, Jumoja wants to fight early on with the with trying to be aggressive. So it's worked out well. Whereas the Jingwei gets the kill, kind of scales up through the early game into the mid game where she starts taking control of the game. But it's slightly different from game one, where game one is more of a feel each other out. We won't do anything too passive or too strong with an Artemis. We've now seen they kind of need to take that fight quite early on.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at what Gaelic's looking to buy here, and I think it might be a Kronos Pendant first item. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes.
Not Lifebinder?
No, I think it might be a Kronos Pendant. I might be wrong, don't get me wrong, but I've just got a little bit of an inkling, just seeing that tier 1 right there. But I mean, we can only do what we can do again, and that is wait. And I mean, I expected Fozzer to maybe have a little bit more pressure in this solo lane, and Tunskvat is going to be hanging around there now as well. But I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, this Chak can. It's not like the first game where he's playing the Mordred again, where he wants to take those 1v1s quite constantly. I mean, he only got his starter item to start with, opted to get the Chalice as well, so maybe it's just a little bit of a slower start from Fozzer. He has the Shell, which is quite surprising from me. I mean, especially when you look on the other side and you see Rendicor with this Sunder, but I mean, the rest of his team just say, hell no, I don't want to get altered by this Willix after a knock-up from the Geb or Vulcan and just opt to get beads instead.
You might see Rendicor might get a Magi's later on in his build just to be on the safe side more than anything else, because he will become prime target number 1 for a kind of a wombo combo with the Vulcan, the Wheelix, or the Gebel a Wheelix, or anything where he just generally just locks him down long enough for even a Vulcan ult secure as well.
Yeah, exactly that. And I mean, we're seeing a lot of pressure over in this duo lane. I mean, Rivers of Rebuke are going to be popped there from Umoja, along with the Jingwei ult, which I actually don't know the name of, but I mean, those ults are going to be popped there, and nothing coming of it for Midgards chosen, and I mean, now we're just going to see what we call a farm fest.
We're going to see that farm fest. We're going to see Skoll try and mitigate some of this early gold lead, which Midgards have kind of built themselves up. It's 1.2k, and early on that it can be quite substantial for trying to force an early objectives around the Gold Fury, or even trying to kill Queen Naga as well. So if they can try and stop the bleed and try and stem it out into the mid game and defend the objectives, then maybe in a better position going into the mid to late game, where this comp is very much team orientated. Look for the ults, the kind of the lockdown, and generally make the picks from it.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm looking at on the net worth tab, I mean, the majority of the lead, I mean, this, 1,000 gold lead, it's going to be all in the duo lane, Kino. You've got, 500 gold, 600 gold in the support role onto the Shimoja, and then you've got pretty much the same over onto the Jingwei as well, obviously getting the first blood there. And Kino, I don't mean to be that guy, but Cheetah was right, mate. We are going to see the Chronos pendant first time from Gaelic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I would have. I understand why he's picked it up. Obviously, for the early 20% CDR. I just think I don't know why he's gone that rather than Lifebind. Lifebind is, I would say, is a more valued item quite early on in the game.
I'll tell you why, mate. Because Gaelic is the top support, and you're number 5, and he wants to get stuck in, mate. Yeah, stuck in.
Cheers for that, number 10 ADC. Thanks for giving that information, which is now on the bench. But yeah, no, I can understand why he's picked it up. Obviously, he wants to get the early CDR, lower the cooldown rates for the ult and for the regeneration of his OM. So no, I do like the pickup. I would have just probably expected Lifebind, and we do see a pickup from that kind of wombo combo we was on about I believe in mid.
Yeah, we are talking about pickups as we say it, and I mean, there comes the pickup, and beads are also going to be popped as well by the Agni as well, Kino. So maybe Thomas Flop's going to find himself in a bit of bother within probably the next 60 seconds again. And here comes the gank over onto the solo lane. The shell is going to be popped, and the gank onto Rendicore over there as well. And maybe he gets out. Rendicore, does he get out? And the teleport is going to come through, and the feather step is going to be on point, and Tunskapat also getting a kill onto Rendicore, getting two kills on the board now for himself. But in the meanwhile, there's going to be another kill in the middle lane. It's going to be onto Kai. Ult's going to be popped by Thanatos, and I mean, that's going to be a kill for the jungler on Midgards chosen.
Yeah, I think Gaelic might have used his ult at the same time as well.
Ooh.
And we might see a 1v1 kill happen here. Is Sam managed to get out? I think so. He's going to lose his purple buff, though.
Yeah, Sam does want to defend this purple buff, though, and it's going to be a little bit unfortunate for him when he gets solo killed by JJ. Does manage to get his purple buff, but is that worth it? Because both beads down now for both ADCs, and I mean, both ults are also going to be popped there in that little 1v1 scuffle. Like we say, he did pick up his own purple buff, but the result, a solo kill, and I mean, that doesn't feel good, especially if you are Samuel, because JJ Master now 2 levels up on this Jingwei.
Yeah, and now we expect Jingwei to kind of just be a bit free, where she is kind of safe. She'll probably just hold the ult now for the next couple of fights, or when Tunskapat kind of shows up on that duo side, as a Wheelix would want to be there, as it's an easy kind of setup now for it to confirm the kill.
Oh, well, it's going to be popped there by a Willix, and it's going to be a lot of bother there for Gaelic as well. It's well played from Immortal Swift, who just wanted to get in there. The Thanatos ult's also going to have to be popped as he gets out literally 1 HP. And that's going to be the Gold Fury call there now for Skoll. It's dropping relatively quickly as well, 2k health now, but I mean, we see JJ hanging around, and he isn't going to manage to steal it. Samuel getting the confirm onto that Gold Fury, and Skoll managing to get the first objective of the game.
We secured an objective, guys. Woo! Let's go. No, but all seriousness, I just kind of like imagine Swift saying, "Call an ambulance," but not for me. He kind of forced Gaelic to poke him out, step up, and he was caught out of position, which led to that pickup on for Gaelic dying, and then from there on, it was just a free goal fury.
Exactly that. You could call Immortal Swift the masturbator because he was in there, knock-up was on point, and Tunskapat popping the ult there onto your Willix, picks up the kill onto Gaelic, and then, I mean, from there was a lot of damage onto Dennis Rodman, who had to get into his ult and get the hell out of the dodge, and, I mean, after that, nothing really much other than Skoll managing to pick up the first goal fury.
It was the CC chain. This comp, like I say, is very much like if you get your CC chains off, you get the knock up into a Wheelix ult, Geb ult, then you've got a knock up coming in from Vulcan. There's a lot of damage coming in. If you don't have beads active, in this situation Gaelic didn't, you're just going to sit there, you're just going to take it, and you're going to die. And the later this goes on, the more potent it becomes, the less chance you've got to be able to survive any kind of CC damage lockdown. And it's now the gold lead has kind of swayed backwards and forwards. That 1.2 gold lead, which was quite prominent in the early game, is now completely disapparated, and it's now only a 200 gold lead.
Yeah, I don't see a Sol in this game, but yeah, that gold lead has disapparated, and I mean, we're going to see just a little bit stale now, but I mean, quite noticeably, Kino. It seemed like Rendicon is, we are going to see an ult popped here by Samuel taking the 1v1. The trap is on point as well, but he hasn't got the facilities for this big man. Tunskapat is in there. Samuel has the jukes though. The silence is going to end up being the thing that pops it. Bees are going to have to be popped as well. Rivers of Rebuke also popped, and we see Tunskapat in a little bit of problem, but the leap off of the Tiger is going to be there. And I mean, it was a good follow-up there from Midgards Chosen. I mean, Tunskapat very, very nearly got the kill onto Dennis Rodman, who missed the ult onto Samuel, then missed the Scythe as well. And, I mean, very unlucky for him not to get the return kill. But, I mean, he gets the kill onto JJ. Samuel obviously falling in the meanwhile. I mean, it was a good little 1v1 tussle between Samuel and JJ until they're both junglers, and then obviously the support as well on the side of Midgards turning up, being the resulting factor in that fight, and Gaelic just not managing to pick up Tunskapat. But I mean, we are going to see a Pyro pick up now on the side of Skoll, and I mean, we're going to see a couple of people hanging around, 4 members for the side of Skoll, whereas only 3 for the side of Midgards Chosen. And I mean, I was going to say in the early game we was talking about leads, and I mean, arguably the lead was quite surprising is Chak had a slight lead, but now it's going to be vice versa, and we've got about 1.5 levels, and we are going to see a solo bolo here. But on what side is it going to be? And it's going to be JJ picking up the kill onto Samuel, which is a very feels bad moment, I'm not going to lie, especially when JJ didn't even have the beads to be used there. I mean, obviously, the ult was popped there from the Artemis starting that 1v1, and I mean, we're going to see a solo for JJ now, just getting that lead extended a little bit more in the ADC role. And I say a little bit more, it's about 1,200 gold now, Kino.
It is, and I think as well, it was a crit diff as well. Sam's gone for the early king size, saving up for that real kind of late game fight, whereas JJ's gone for I want to fight early on with that crit.
Yeah, and I mean, we are going to see the Gold Fury popped there, and it is going to be picked up and secured by Midgards Chosen, but the ult's going to be popped by Tunskapat, and I mean, the knock-up off of what we said earlier on, the knock-up off the meatball from Kai, Tunskapat picking that up, and then obviously the beads also being used late by Dennis Rodman, but I mean, Samuel's going to get towered over here, and it's not a nice look, especially when, I mean, we're going to see another kill as well here as well. Gaelic managing to pick up that kill onto Tunskapat, and I mean, that's a feels bad moment for Samuel there, under his tier 2 when the tier 1 is still available as well.
His mental might be gone. Just might be just slightly gone. I think someone just needs to just calm down slightly. Just say we're still in this. It's only creeping up to a 3k gold lead. It's not too strenuous. They can't come back from this period in time. It just just needs to just be calm. Just wait for what he can get. Wait for the waves to come up, and just hope that Fozux and Tunskapat and Kai can really force their advantages elsewhere.
And speaking of forcing advantages elsewhere, Kino, we are going to see a solo kill from Fozzer onto Rendikor there. I mean, the ult not being used by Rendikor, and I think maybe that would have helped him out. Just at the end of that ult by Fozzer, he could have just caught him ever so slightly after the CC immunity ends and maybe manages to get the kill as well. But I think something that's going to be noticeable here, Kino, is Sunbeam Bow being built by Fozzer.
Yeah, generally a good item for Amaterasu. You build it in jungle, you can, in this occasion, build it in solo. Gives Amaterasu, who's always been known for a good objective shred, so the fact she's picked it up, or Fozik's picked it up, generally means that he's going to want to be around objectives, when he gets to late game, wants to be kind of in the face of the back line, popping Sunbeam Bomb, and basically maximising as much DPS output as he can.
Yeah, and I mean, we're looking at the damage stats now, and I mean, we was looking at gold just a second ago, and I mean, we're talking about gold leads for the team, which is lingering around 3,000. 2,500 of that is for this Jingwei. And I mean, that is quite scary, to be honest. Obviously, top of the damage stats as well, currently being 5 and 1. Got that kin size now online as well. Rendikor is going to pop the ult and is going to catch Fozzer's dash. Thunder is also going to be popped, and here comes Dennis Rodman as well. And it's not going to be nice because Rivers of Rebuke also popped, and these stuns are not very nice from Gaelic because it just boxes in Fozzer, and I mean, we are going to hear a little spam laugh there as well. But here comes the ultimate from Tunskapat, and he picks up Gaelic and says, "You come back here, boy." Gets the kill onto him in return, but I mean, it's a little bit scrappy again, Kino. We're seeing a kill here and a kill there, and not really much else happening. We are seeing Geb actually get active into this tower now, and here comes the ultimate from Kai. Earth Shaker isn't going to be on, but the knock-up is, and Kai does manage to pick up the kill there. I think the turret just had the extended auto and is going to manage to pick up the kill onto Rendikor as well, and Tunskapat cleans up onto Dennis Rodman. A 3-for-1 for the side of Skoll.
Yeah, very, very much like it was Fozux trying to play his life as long as he can, hoping his team came in. They didn't come in, they swept up, they managed to pick up 3 kills on the tier 1 tower, which goes well. I like this rotation by Midgards, trying to force an objective, a Gold Fury fight, whilst the others were still fighting back. And Sam just kind of defended it, which kind of stalls the progression out, and I think this favours Skoll.
Yeah, Sam's a lone soldier out there, and he's going to use that Artemis ult, but in the meanwhile, look on the other side of the map, Kino, because Skoll are going to be taking the Fire Giant for all 5 members of their team. 17 minutes.
But at least they didn't have to worry about no one coming in and trying to steal the objectives like in game 1, because there was no one there to be able to get away with it. I think what the call was Sam communicating quite effectively, saying there's 2 on the Gold Fury side. Oh, poor Sam. He might be a bit dead here.
Of Sam, the Rivers of Rebuke is absolutely on point there from Gaelic again, and I mean, we see JJ picking up another kill there onto him, but as you were saying, I think it was good communication between the boys at Skoll. They obviously saying, "Look, Sam, you ain't worth a great deal right now, my boy. Just bait yourself onto this Gold Fury. If you die, you die. If you manage to steal it, even better." But in the meanwhile, the team's on the other side of the map, and they are going to manage to pick up the Fire Giant. Obviously not going to be used for Samuel anymore, because he's back on the grey screen in the base. But I mean, it's not going to be nice for Sam coming into these late game fights, because I mean, we're now approaching the 20-minute mark, and currently I mean, level 14, it's not a great look, especially when the Jingwei is level 19.
Yeah, Jim, is going to be a problem at this moment in time until they get to like 25 minutes, 26 minutes when levels start even themselves out, and then it's just generally a build difference. I'd like Skoll to try and play this slow, probably group up as a 5 and try and help Samuel out. Try and
Sunbeam Bow put in the work, my friend. By the way.
100%. So, I said Sunbeam Bow. Yeah, good item for Amaterasu. There to pick up the objectives early. I think it's Ancient Fury which is now active on the map, so we could generally see a play around that. But as I was saying, Skoll generally want to group up as 5 now. Probably same with Midgards, but they really need to help Sam out. Just try and get him out of this level deficit. I can't even say the word. Deficit, yeah. And try and help Sam get him to the late game where he can be able to start doing as much damage as possibly can with this crate pen build.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking about crit and we're talking about pen, and I mean, I think Fozza's going to be, sorry, not Fozza, JJ is going to be a big issue when it comes to these fights, because you've got him now, level 19, probably very close to hitting 20, maybe off of this wave that we're looking at, and it is going to be that wave, and now level 20 Jingwei in 20 minutes in a comp set, and I mean, this guy's got the Kins, he's got the Exi, he's got the Demon Blade for the crit, he's also got his Stim for the crit as well. This guy is going to be a big, big problem.
He's going to be a big problem, but I think so is Tunskabat on the other team. He's just, I think, about to turn 20 as well. Same with Fozzik, so it goes both ways.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the dagger there as well, and obviously having that Oath-Sworn spear now with the Hydra's paired in there, you've got a nice little bit of synergy between himself and Kai, who now has, obviously, he's got the anti-heal online, which is going to be nice against his Chak. Obviously having that rod, so I mean, we're probably going to see an Obshard slotted into this build, probably next item. So I mean, Kai's going to start chunking very, very shortly, and I mean, the damage stats on the left-hand side of the screen aren't drawing attention anywhere in particular. I mean, the two people that we just spoke about really are the top of those lists. I mean, Rendicor's up there, obviously, but I mean, the majority of that's just going to be solo lane damage. Gold Fury is going to be picked up though. Rendicor is going to zone that out, and it is the Ancient Fury, I believe, that's going to be going to the side of Midgards Chosen.
I like what Midgards have done with this losing the Fire Giant. They've not let Skoll take whatever they want off the map. They've made it very awkward for Skoll to try and take any objectives away and force any kind of pressure they may or may not have. Ancient Fury is really big, and even though they picked up the Fire Giant, I don't think it's been realistically that beneficial for them.
Yeah, no, not at all, to be honest, Kino, because they've not been able to take that Fire Giant and translate it to anywhere on the map. I mean, you definitely can't do it over in the duo lane because you've got a chunky old Jingwei over there, and I mean, it's quite clear that Midgards Chosen know what they're wanting to do. We are going to see Fozza take the mid-tier 1 now, though, and that does mitigate a little bit of pressure around the map. Obviously, that middle tower and the middle lane being the main output in terms of where you can rotate in and out of the map. And I mean, obviously the tier 1's already down on the side of Skoll, so it kind of mitigates it a little bit. It gives it a little bit more adventurous to be around the map. And I mean, now basically what we're going to see is both teams get together. I mean, we are going to see obviously Midgards Chosen pick up this Pyromancer. Looks like Skoll are going to hang around though, and the Earth Shaker is going to be popped, and it's not going to come through because Gaelic has the confirm onto that Pyromancer. Obviously a bomb now for him, which can help towards the securing of the Fire Giant with the 1000 base damage that does. And I think that it's going to be a big thing now because, I mean, Kino, this Jingwei is now got a Titan's Bane, and that 25% pen is no joke.
Like Midgards Chosen to now try and force a fight around the Fire Giant. They've got kind of the builds coming together. The damage dealers are 20, so they'll be able to, you know, really take down this objective quick. And I'd like them to be able to force an issue where Skoll are not going to enjoy taking that fight. And from what I can see from here, they are looking like they're going to pick up Fire Giant. Force that objective now, force that pressure, which they've kind of built up over the last couple of minutes while Skoll have had Fire Giant. I think Rendicor might die here.
Yeah, Rendicall might be in a little bit of bother, and Sunscapt is going to pick up that kill. And whilst that's happening, Dennis Rodman is going to pick up the Fire Giant. The shell is going to have to be popped there as well, though, by Immortal Swift to get through that Rivers of Rebuke. Gaelic might be in a little bit of bother, though, because the knock-up comes through from Immortal Swift. Maybe a kill onto Gaelic. The knock-up does come through as well, and Tunscap does manage to get the kill now onto Gaelic as well. 3 men down for the side of Midgards Chosen. And I mean, now we're seeing something maybe can come from Skoll, maybe managing to get the Phoenix in middle lane.
Phoenix, no one wants the dagger apparently. It was an overextension by Rendicor, which allowed Skoll to get into that Fire Giant pit after it was gone. I think if he was a little bit further back towards his team, I don't think it's an easy kill for Skoll, and it allows Midgards Chosen to try and whether it's worth them taking the fight or whether it's worth them securing the objective.
I mean, the craziest part about that, Kino, is that whole time Samuel was in the left lane on that Artemis. Manages to get level 20 now as well. Just doing a little bit of farming. Obviously got that Executioner online now, so he has the pen available. Obviously level 20, just wants to get that starter item upgrade. I'm pretty sure he has it already. I can't really tell from the photos. But we are going to see a Gold Fury now pop on the map. Obviously 2 people on the side of Midgards Chosen, having the Fire Giant still readily available for about another 2 minutes, just over. And I mean, of the 2 people that have it, it's probably the 2 that you want to have it, being the Agne and the Jingwei. We are going to see the Gold Fury leashed, and Ultimate's going to be on point now, though, from Tunscapt, but Dennis Rodman's going to be in there, and Fozzer is going to be fallen. Tunscapt also falls as well. Earthshaker is going to be thrown in there, but nothing comes of it, as Samuel also dies as well in the back line. Dennis Rodman also managed to pick up the Gold Fury, but that's I mean, it's the complete opposite of what just happened on the Fire Giant. The Gold Fury is picked up, and 3 people on Skoll die in return for nobody on the other side.
I couldn't make sense of that. I mean, you've got 2 people still with Fire Giant. I'd just make them map as large as possible if I was Skoll. Yes, it's an Ancient Fury, but I mean, if you force people to rotate around, you make the map as big as possible whilst still got Fire Giant on the 2 DPS, it makes it very awkward from the kind of any fight.
Yeah, and I mean, now we have the Gold Fury onto the middle lane, and I mean, it's going to be a bit of a problem now for Skoll, because all these Phoenixes and the towers are going to be weakened, and it's going to allow Midgards Chosen to be able to just walk into these objectives and take them very easily, especially when you've got a Jingwei that's throwing these basics around and doing whatever the hell she wants, just with that Fire Giant still for about another minute or so. I mean, they are going to retreat, not going to look to get the duo lane side Phoenix on the side of Skoll, but I mean, Phoenix is taken. They've still got Fire Giant. They're going to set up for the next one, which pops in about a minute and a half. I mean, they're going to have the advantage for this also.
Yeah, it's a 10k goal lead, so I fully want them to try force a fight now, and try and get a pick before pulling the Fire Giant. It might make them to be able to secure the game easier enough as well. And Rendicor again has been kind of forced into a situation he didn't want to be. Earthshaker comes through, lands on 3 people, and Midgards Chosen having to retreat.
Yeah, it's quite surprising actually, and Fozzer is going to get chunked by that Jingwei, taking a hell of a lot of damage, and I mean, this might be the Uno reverse card now, because it's a complete turnaround. We were saying that they was going to retreat, but now they're on the aggression. I mean, that all came from a little bit of an overextension from Fozzer. Immortal Swift might be in a little bit of trouble though. The rollout is going to be up very shortly, but Thomas Flop is going to pick up the kill there onto him, and we might be looking at an end call now from Midgards Chosen. Looks like they're going to opt to go over towards the duo lane instead. It was a good start to the fight from Skoll, obviously Tunscapt picking up Rendicor and bringing him in the ult, but they don't have the damage to be able to get in there, and that Phoenix on the duo lane side for Skoll is going to fall now as well, and it might be a bit of bother now in this game for Skoll.
Yeah, I think Skoll are taking the bait too much now with Rendy Core being out of position and getting him caught up and trying to full combo him down at this late stage. I can understand why they're doing it because it can be blown up, but is it necessarily worth it at this moment in time? I'd probably say not. The main people you want to look at is probably everyone else apart from Rendy Core. Anyone which they can kind of focus and poke out and be able to collapse on.
Yeah, exactly that. And I mean, we was talking about setting up for a fire giant, and I mean, that's now not going to happen until the rest of the team groups up for it now. I mean, obviously, a fight just broke out around there, and 2 Phoenixes now taken by Midgards chosen. The fire giant is going to be picked up, dropping very, very quickly. Immortal Swift does get in there, and Ultimate's going to be popped by Fozzer, and maybe Skoll steal this, but who actually knows? Ult's going to have to be popped by Jingwei as well, who are falling, and Samuel picks up the Fire Giant. Kai manages to pick up a kill as well, onto JJ, arguably the biggest threat for that team, and Ult's going to be popped by Artemis. He's going to be in there in the pit. Foz is still hanging around. Thomas Flop in a lot of trouble now, though, taking a hell of a lot of damage, and Samuel picks up the kill onto Thomas Flop. Both in the backline now dead for the side of Midgards chosen, and the Fire Giant also stolen.
Very good by Skoll. Very, very good. Well taken on the fight. They got the objective. They even picked up a few kills in turn. And it's perfectly timed as well. As the mid Phoenix is coming up, they can push up 2 fire waves. They can look to get the Ancient Fury. And now try and get a grasp of back on this game in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they can get a grips on this now. Maybe try and get these waves pushed up. Is it just mitigating who is going to win, or is it just going to be a bit of a throw again from one of the teams? But I mean, we're looking at things now, and the actual items kind of leveled out. I mean, obviously the ADC for the side of Skoll not quite having the same amount as the other team. We are going to see a Gold Fury though picked up for Midgards chosen. Gaelic obviously managing to take that for them. And that just takes that Ancient Fury off the map so that they don't get the weakened Phoenixes.
100% spot on. I'd like probably Midgards to give up this tier 1 and tier 2 in the duo lane. Pyromancer has come back up, and it might be a really good play for him to just pick up the Pyromancer, negate some of this gold away from which Skoll are trying to claw back into.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about negating, mate. Something that Midgards chosen aren't doing is negating Kai's damage. Because he is up there now, mate. And I mean, I swear it, on that Fire Giant fight, he must have done 7,000 damage. Because it was a hell of a lot.
He did clip flop. He clipped. It was JJ clipped with the ult, which was very nicely done. I can see that the Kai on the Vulcan is very much like he's not showing his face. They don't know where he is. So he's making it very awkward for Midgards to be able to like kill secure, because he can peel out with the meatballs. He can do a lot of damage as well with this with the Vulcan late game. Now he's almost full build. I fully expect the Earthshakers to be hitting around 1.2, 1.4k.
Keep going, mate, because I mean those ults do 1.8 to 2,000 damage a piece. Especially when you've got this build that Kai's got online, and he'll have the passive items as well, which gives him the bonus intelligence and the bonus strength. He's going to be chunking and doing a hell of a lot of damage. But now we're going to look at a pyro pickup for the side of Skoll. Picks up a runic bomb for their team now, obviously, as well. And I mean, I'd like to see them maybe try and just... I'd have thought they'd have pushed up this left Phoenix, to be honest. Especially whilst they all have the Fire Giant.
I mean, the Phoenix has just respawned from... I kind of like the idea what Skoll are doing. They're trying to get, like I say, get a grasp of back hold of the map. Yeah, they lost Ancient Fury, but they picked up the remaining towers in duo. There's no more towers for Midgards chosen to now get or defend. And it allows Skoll to try and get their full builds online. As you can see, Tons has just got his full build. Fozox is going to be near his full build. Swift will be near his full build. And it now becomes to who's going to team fight the best at the next Fire Giant.
Yeah, exactly that. And I mean, it's now a stalemated game, and Kino, you know this game just as well as I do, so not very well at all, but the next fight probably is going to decide who wins this game. And it could go either way now.
Either way, this is where, like I said at the beginning, I favoured like Skoll's kind of draft a little bit more than Midgards fight, as the lockdown CC chain it can be more effective and easier to execute as well on the side of Skoll. If you don't have beads, you're pretty much a goner.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough for them at the beginning of this game. Obviously, you had a Jingwei running around that was quite what I would call incredibly fed. But you actually looked through things, and I mean, it's still straight down the middle, because if we're on a fire giant fight and somebody manages to get picked, or one fight, obviously the fire giant may or may not fall. With that's a given. But I mean, if one team manages to get wiped, or even 3 or 4 members of the team fall when the rest of the other team's alive, that's going to be a game call.
Yeah, it'll be a game call, and this is where the good old fire giant dance from Smite 1 will make its return. It's now who's going to make the wrong move, who's going to overstep, who's going to become the hero of the game at this point onwards. Sam's not full build as of yet, so I expect Skoll to play passively until Sam comes here with the full build. And
Yeah, and I
as
mean,
go on.
I thought you might cut out. I do apologise. Go ahead.
No, and we do see this fight now forced by Midgards. Both ults used by Dennis Rodman's out of position, but I think Fozux is out. And by the way, during this fight, I think Sam's not been in this fight, and I think that's a bit of an eager call by Midgards chosen.
Yeah, I mean, we saw obviously Dennis Rodman get a little bit stuck in there, wanted to kill onto a Mortal Swift. Fozzer in there on his Jack Jones, just taking out the rest of the team and saying, "You ain't going anywhere near there." While Tunskapak cleans up the kill onto Dennis Rodman, and that's now 5v4 situation. The team's still not grouped up though. Rendicor does manage to pick up that Pyromancer for the boys over at Midgards Chosen. I mean, this is where I feel like that Skoll should have been a little bit better grouped up there. There was the opportunity to say, right, we hit the go button on this fire giant. If they come, we're fighting 5v4.
Yeah, and you still got this now for at least another 30 seconds. Even when Dennis Rodman comes back up, he still has to try and get into the fight. The go button is now. You can't wait any longer for Skoll. Everything's used. All the ults are just slightly coming back with cooldown. You've got the power play advantage. You need to kind of force this and press down what player advantage you've got.
Yeah, I mean, while we're talking about player advantages, Kino, Dennis Rodman is now back up on the map, and Thanatos, one of the fastest moving gods on the game. Fire Giant is going to be picked up for Skoll, but they are going to drop it. They don't want to do it just yet, but it was just maybe just a damage check to see how quick they can pick that up and how much damage they can do to it. It did drop from 20,000 health down to just over 11,000 in that time. So they can burn this relatively quick, and I mean, you can see how quick they can burn it right now. We are going to see a little bit of a fight, but it is going to be a 50-50 on this objective. I don't know what's going to happen, but Foz is going to drop that bomb. What it should have happened in the first game, and now is going to pick up the Gold Fury there, but Fozzer is going to fall now to JJ. We are going to see a little bit of a retreat. Fire Giant obviously on the side of Skoll, and it seems like maybe Midgards Chosen are going to go to the Gold Fury.
They may go towards Golf Fury. They may look to try and push home. Again, a power play advantage where they do have someone a 4v5 situation for 50 seconds. I just
Nice Magi, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that bug's still in the game from Smite 1, I think, by the looks of things with Umojis 3.
Yeah, that ain't a bug, mate. It's just part of the game, isn't it? And we are going to see the Ancient Fury pop on over to Midgards Chosen. Obviously now weakening the Phoenixes for Skoll, but I mean, we're now heading towards 40 minutes into this game, Kino, and I mean, we expected a good set between these two teams, and God, have we got one.
I thought, well, we kind of expected game 1 to go this long, and game 1 was ended quite quickly. I want Skoll to just try and delay the push by Midgards Chosen so Fozzox comes back up. I'm not too bothered about giving up this Phoenix, but the next time... Oh, and... Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman falls there to Tunscat, and I mean, something to point out here, Kino, is that I mean, Fozzer obviously on that fire giant got stuck in a little bit, managed to die, but I mean, he just gave the dagger straight to Rendikor, even though they got the fire giant.
Yeah, even though they got the fire giant, I don't think he managed to pull it in time. Rendikor did have to like kind of burn advantages, and he's just about to burn his ult there because he was picked out. And this is Skoll just trying to take an advantage, just trying to force a play where they can pick up the Phoenix and most likely they the game from the end of it.
Oh my lord, Rendy Goat is gone. And I was literally just about to say that Skoll were not doing no damage to this Jack. Walking Samuel, because Skinnerpap, he's dead. And I mean, now the dagger's picked up by Samuel instead. They're just playing past the parcel at this point.
Who's going to use the dagger? Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. It's I want this Phoenix to go, and right. Okay. Big, and it's now a 3v3. We've lost Phoenix. Kai's gone big. Swift has just left Kai on his own. This might be game now.
He's protecting his ADC, mate, and that's going to work for them because Samuel picks up a kill onto Dennis Rodman. Obviously, JJ Master falling to a one-tap Earthbreaker from Kai, and I mean, 3 members down on the side of Skoll, 3 members down on the side of Midgards Chosen, and what happens here now, Kino? Let's do the good old retreat.
We go to the fire giant again, which comes up in about 2 minutes' time. I fully expect that'll be the next kind of fight we see in this game. And anyone for a 50-minute match now? Any takers from this point? We could be here until 12 o'clock tonight. So make sure you got your sleeping bags at the ready, because this could, like you said, it was a barn burner at the start. It's now brewing up quite nicely in game 2.
I mean, we're now, what, 41 minutes into game 2 of this set. This set's now been going for on the region of nearly 2 hours now, and we've got the possibility of even going to a game 3.
I think that's what we want. I think that's what everyone wants, a game 3. Possibly another hour-long game 3. And then we can just watch Cheeto or hear Cheeto snoring in the background as he probably falls asleep halfway through game 3. He'll have to get up for work.
Likely to happen. That is very likely to happen, I will say. Golf Fury, sorry, not Golf Fury, Pyromancer, now picked up for the side of Midgards Chosen, but I mean, that's not going to come through because it's just a little bit of a leash between both teams, and JJ Master picks up that kill, the 50-50 onto there. Noticeably, the left Phoenix still down for Skoll, and I mean, that might be a little bit strange. I mean, obviously the left Phoenix also down on the side of Midgards Chosen, and that's actually quite a bit longer, and the waves are pushed up in favour of Skoll. Fire Giant probably going to be spawning in about the next 30 seconds. I say next 30 seconds, out pops it, because here it is, and who's going to be the one to hit the go button and say, right, we want this?
Midgards are in the position to do so. I'd just like to say that was a very well used dagger throughout the whole entire fire giant play there. It just fell off from Samuel there. Like you said, the waves do favour Skoll, so Skoll can kind of slow burn this out. The Phoenix has just come back up. Are they going to pick it up? No, I generally think it's just feeling each other out. The Phoenix has just come back up for Skoll, so should see the waves push up in their favour towards Midgards, and you'll see Midgards kind of retreat back now and allow Skoll to press up and take the advantage from here.
Yeah, we are going to see the good old fire giant dance. Someone eventually is going to have to back for these waves in the left lane. For Midgards Chosen, because if not, we might find the Titan a little bit of bother. I mean, especially if Samuel is doing what I think he's going to do now, and that's take that totem. We get the Warhorn fire minions, and I mean, those things, I'm not going to lie to you, Kino, they are horrid to deal with.
And it looks like it's Dennis Rodman which has gone back and trying to defend them Fire Giant waves, which is now the go button for Skoll, and Skoll to take the Fire Giant and try and force the fight 4v5.
Yeah, this is going to be the go button, and the ult's going to be popped there now from Tun's Captain. It is going to be popped through. I hear beads getting popped there, but God knows who from. It was from Agni, and we are going to see a go button now. Rivers of Rebuke is going to be popped, and we might see a little bit of bother though, because Tun's Captain is going to fall there to JJ in a 5v4, and now we see the rundown. In comes Dennis Rodman, picking up the execute now onto Immortal Swift, and it's not looking good for Skoll now, and I mean, the team's now grouped up. Fire Giant's going to be picked up, but Kai's saying no, because he is going to do a hell of a lot of damage, and Samuel picks up the kill onto Rendikor. Fire Giant at 6k, Fire Giant at 5k, Thomas Flop picks up the kill onto Samuel, and those are some beefy old death timers now. 45 minutes into the game, Thomas Flop secures the Fire Giant over the Vulcan ult, the Earth Shaker, Earth Breaker there, going out and not being on point in terms of timing, and 4 members available for the side of Midgards chosen. I'm not going to lie to you, Kino, I really wanted to see them run it down mid there.
I think if Rendikor was alive, then I fully expected him to have run it down mid, but the fact that Kai's still alive, very much like the biggest damage dealer in the game so far, or out of both sets, I'd probably say as well. He can be a menace, and he has been known to be able to defend like a 1v5 situation before. So I can understand them playing safe, getting this Ancient Fury, making the Phoenix weak again, and waiting for Rendikor to come back up, so then they can try and siege these Phoenixes and try and close out the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, mate. I looked at that there, and you see people dead for 70-second, Kino. 3 members on the side of Skoll were dead for 70 whole seconds, with 4 members on the side of Midgards chosen with a Fire Giant, and one of them being a Jingwei who can burn down structures ridiculously quickly. I think they could have got more out of that. Maybe got some Phoenixes, maybe even ended the game. But we are going to see them now siege the left-hand Phoenix, and maybe this could be what we are calling sayonara.
We could, and I want to see if the dagger is going to get used this time, because the dagger was not used last time. I'm hoping it's going to be used this time.
We are going to see the go button there. Rivers of Rebuke is going to be popped, and it's going to be just there to allow them to get the Phoenix. Tunskapt is going to pick up a kill onto JJ Master. The dagger, did it get popped? I don't know. I think it did, but I mean, he's dead either way, because I mean, now Skoll go on the offensive and they want the rundown, but Tunskapt managing to pick up the kill there onto him. I mean, Rendikor also falling as well, and I mean, these guys are saying, now's our time, let's run it the hell down. Phoenix didn't even fall, Kino.
Phoenix didn't fall. I think JJ might have popped it a little bit too early. Big damage by Floppers there. Tons has to be a bit safe when he's chasing down that much. And now it's time for Skoll to see if they can siege the Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to look at the Phoenix though? Because Tunskapt kinda needs to back, and he's going to linger around a little bit. He has got the ult now available again. We are going to see 25 seconds on the spawn timers for the side of Midgards chosen, but I mean, hell, nothing else is going to come of it. Are we going for Fire Giant Dance number 5?
We're going for Fire Giant Dance number 5. We are all here for this. This is going to be fun. I think they're all just boosting numbers right now.
Break it down what you think should happen right here.
In this fight, or when it comes to like the next Fire Giant dancing? I probably expect them to Skoll to push that left wave up, force someone to back, and try and force a 4v5 situation, and trying to execute it correctly this time round. If I were Midgard's chosen side, I'd what Gaelic is doing now, playing the corners, seeing if he can catch someone out, put them in the Rivers Rebuke, and just try and force actives, try and force the ults, and make a hero play. And as you can see, Midgards have very much pushed up over halfway into Skoll's jungle as they want to catch someone out, but there is wards for Skoll all over the place, and it ain't fooling anyone.
Yeah, it looks like Midgard's Chosen really want to step up here now, and they want something to do and something to get involved in really seriously. Quite graciously, Mrs. Cheeto has just brought me a cup of tea to carry on making sure my mouth doesn't go too dry, because damn almighty, these games are going for a long time, and now 50 minutes into game 2 of this set, and it's not looking like it's going to end anytime soon, Kino.
It's not going to end anytime soon. I did say it was going to be an hour game, and Fight Giant is about to come back up, and we go back again for round 5.
Yeah, this time around, mate. No Phoenixes for either team either.
It's going to be could one team secure? Could the other one steal? We're about to find out. Now we should see the ward kind of game. Who's going to be kind of risky? Put the wards into the other side of the jungle to try and spot a potential kill or a potential gank out. And you can see from this point, you've got Dennis Rodman just trying to push the waves up in mid, try and create some of the pressure for Midgards Chosen, where they do look to try and take a fight and force Skoll to try and defend the Fire Giant. It was Swift, which was the one person which went to go and defend. Dennis Rodman is kind of flanking. This is going to be a kind of interesting fight. Who's going to live? Who's going to die? And already ults expanded by Midgard's Chosen. You've got Rendicor's ult used. You've had Dennis Rodman's ult used. And they've still managed to win the fight.
They do manage to win the fight.
Fozok's pushed up, had to pop Stampede, took a lot of damage from JJ and Floppers, and since he's not really that tanky as such, he's just going to blow up and die.
Yeah, I mean, JJ Master picking up a kill there onto him, and I mean, we see the beads popped from the Thanatos, the beads popped from JJ. Obviously, a lot of ults also popped on the side of both teams, let's be honest, but I mean, it's just another kill pickup, and it's going to allow Midgard's Chosen to just, I mean, pick up this Fire Giant and do what the hell they want. And I mean, while we're looking at it, you look at the left-hand lane, there was that chunky of a wave. The Phoenix is also gone.
I think they're giving up Fire Giant here. Yeah, they've kind of got to give it up. Tons wasn't in the position to be able to come in and defend it. They have lost that Phoenix. It's a bit of a worrying sign now for Skoll, as you've got Fozok's down for 15 seconds. I expect Midgard's Chosen to kind of push down this solo lane in towards the Phoenix and kind of take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, we're going to win this out 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this time Thomas Flop with the dagger from the Fire Giant, and I mean, Rendicor is going to try and get stuck in there. Rivers of Rebuke is going to be popped, and that's going to get rid of Kyron Smite's beads. And I mean, they're just slowly burning right now. It kind of looks like Dennis Rodman's hanging around the middle lane, looking to push up these waves a little bit. I mean, let's be honest, other than pushing waves, he's not really been doing a great deal because he's got 13,000 damage. But, I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more impact from him, because, let's be honest, it's not quite good enough, especially from him when his team are putting in this much of a shift. I mean, we're going to see this. Is that another beads popped? I did just see another beads pop. Samuel popping his beads there as well. Obviously dropping a bit too low for his liking. And I mean, those traps are going to do a hell of a lot of damage though. And speaking of damage, God almighty, that's going to be a lot of damage to Thomas Flop. But Fozzer now dropping low as well. And that's going to be the sign to say, let's get in here a little bit. Because they're looking around, and the ult's popped by Dennis Rodman onto Kai. It is going to be some crits coming through, and Samuel does manage to pick up the kill onto Dennis Rodman. Samuel managed to pick up another kill as well onto JJ Master, arguably the one that they need.
Hear me out. Hear me out, Cheetah. Fire Giant dance number 6. This could. I mean, Skoll have got all 3 Phoenixes down. So they are going to be able to. They are having to defend these fire waves, which are going to cause a lot of damage to the Titan. But we could see Fire Giant 6 happen just simply because of the kill time, the death timers on both teams starting to add up. You've got 50 seconds still left for Midgards Chosen on Dennis Rodman and JJ Master. You've got 40 seconds now on Sam, and you've got 30 seconds on Kai. This could be Fire Giant Dance number 6.
I mean, speaking of dancing, we're going to see Fozza dancing in the middle lane with the boys, and he's going to be able to use that dash just to get out of there. Not managing to get himself caught in a little bit of trouble, but all 3 Phoenixes now taken and all gone for the side of Skoll. And it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a push down. We are seeing a 20,000 gold lead for Midgards Chosen now, but I mean, we're 55 minutes into the game. The gold lead doesn't matter too much, but I mean, look how many free K-pots we are going to see. A Yamoja with 3 free K-pots. How many free K-pots does this Jingwei have? That's what I want to know. 4 free K-pots. That's wonderful, isn't it? 4 free K-pots. It is a little bit criminal.
I don't like that Midgards have picked up the Pyromancer now with the left Phoenix being respawned, because I believe that when you do kill a Pyromancer, as well as picking up the bomb, it does cause some structure damage to a Phoenix or a tower. So the fact they couldn't probably waited like 5-10 seconds before picking up the Pyromancer and taking that objective, making it slightly easier.
Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam, oh, Sam, oh, Sam. I'm not going to lie, it's pretty terrible positioning. Now we're going to see Fozza in bother as well. I thought the execute was going to come through for him, but Flop is going to pick up that Phoenix, and we are going to see a bit of damage there put now on to Dennis Rodman, and it could be the end. Rebuke is going to be popped.
And
We're
it's
not
game.
going to see a game 3 because 56 minutes into game 2, we are going to see Midgards Chosen end it out for a 2-0 to themselves.
Yeah, very nicely done by Midgards. I think Skoll missed a few chances in both games, to be fair, to switch it and potentially either take it to a game 3 or win 2-0 themselves. I think Skoll will be looking back at that and feeling kind of hard done on themselves. Again, that you can see that JJ Master was pretty much like the early drive pusher. He had the lead, he was causing the fights, and then late game being able to blow up Fozok straight in his face. I think overall, generally, he was I would give him the MVP of the game.
Quite arguably, mate. Considering the lead that JJ had, especially in this game, you look around and Samuel's got the same damage as what he has. I mean, Samuel's done a good job to be able to get back into this game and to be able to get the damage up and be able to help his team out a little bit. Kai obviously on there, managing to get his damage out still. Tunskapt obviously being in there, top of the kills list for his team, and Fozza overextending a little bit sometimes, but I mean, arguably the conductor of what's happened for Midgards Chosen, Kino, for me, is Gaelic. Everything that's happened, everything that comes through, all comes through him. And I mean, we said about it when we was in Picks and Bans, his best god right now on the Shimoja, and those Rivers of Rebuke were absolutely on point in pretty much every single fight that they had.
Yeah, it was a key difference, and it was a real burner. And like I say, everything he did, everything the Midgards Chosen did come through with himself, and you could have given it. We could give it to Gaelic. I just think that JJ Master just shades it just a little bit more, in my opinion, and I think Skoll will be licking their wounds and reassessing themselves for the next set.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of split in terms of who the MVP is. Myself giving it to Gaelic, Kino giving it over to JJ Master. I definitely ain't giving it to Dennis Rodman, that is for a certain. He did what he needed to do, but his team coming out with a 2-0 victory over Skoll, and I mean, this was an absolute barn burner of a set, Kino. But I mean, on that note, We are going to round it out now. It's almost 10 p.m. at night. I mean, that is obviously BST, but I mean, it's almost bedtime. We're going to round out these games now. Keep your eyes on Tanuki Smite League because we might have some more streams coming later on in this week. Up until then, though, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to Blake on the production, and obviously my good old friend Keno over there on chair 2.
And thanks for having me. And it's been a pleasure. And we'll speak to each other again in the not too distant future, Cheeto. Hopefully, we might get another casting sooner rather than later.
Yeah, take care, everybody.